In the UK, that same salary for a doctor that's just graduated from medical school is going to be basically 10 times more than that. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kiran. I'm a junior doctor and a comedian working in Manchester. I recently made a video about how much money I make as a doctor in the UK. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. And I was interested to see that an Indian doctor called Dr. Ray, who's a friend of the channel, made a similar video about how much money he makes as a doctor working in India. So as a British Asian doctor, I was born in the UK, I grew up in the UK, I studied in the UK. I'm going to compare my experiences and my pay to his wage as a doctor in India. If you haven't seen his page before, make sure you check it out and let's watch his video now.
Last week I made a reaction video to $1.3 million income of a doctor in the United States. And if you're curious how much junior doctor like me with just an MBBS degree makes in India, this video is for you.
Just an MBBS degree. It's not like you had to work hard to get the degree or go to medical school for 5 years.
Hey friends, if you're new here, welcome. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. I love you to the stars and back. Today, let's discuss the juicy but not so frequently discussed topic of how much a junior doctor with just an MBBS degree makes in India. That is, how much money does a medical school graduate who has finished his internship but hasn't done any residency or postgraduate training earns in India. And again, I'll be using my own example, having either worked in different kinds of jobs or having had job offers from different kinds of sectors. So the point at which an MBBS doctor starts to get paid is during internship, and it will be a basic stipend. Medical doctors in India have to do a compulsory internship after finishing 4.5 years of medical school. They'll be posted for a month or two.
So that sounds quite similar to what we have in the UK. So you do 5 years of medical school and then after that 2 years of what we call foundation training. So that foundation training sounds quite similar to the internship.
Different departments of the hospital like general medicine, general surgery, orthopedics and pediatrics, etc. So they can get an idea on how to manage conditions, all different kinds of conditions.
So it's similar. So we have a similar sort of thing in that you rotate around different rotations for around 4 months to get experience in a few different fields.
Most colleges have internship for 1 year, but some colleges have it for 2 years, where the second year will be spent in a rural area in some community health center. Now, during this...
That's quite cool. We don't have that in the UK. There's no opportunity to work in the community or anything like that. But obviously in India, it's a bigger country, they're able to do that.
Period, doctors will be paid from the medical college and not from the hospital they are working in. Stipend is higher in government colleges and it is lower in private colleges, and some private colleges don't pay anything. So my pay as an intern in a state government run medical college in Karnataka was about 20,000 per month, which was...
So 20,000 rupees, so 1 rupee, no, wait, I need to check this. £1 is around 100 rupees. So 20,000 rupees is around £2,000. £200. I am You know what? It's too early in the day for maths. So 20,000 rupees is around £200 per month. Now, that is as a new doctor that's just qualified in India. In the UK, that same salary for a doctor that's just graduated from medical school is going to be basically 10 times more than that. You're looking at being paid £2,000 to £2,500 per month. £2,000 is the equivalent to 200,000 rupees. But then I guess you've got to factor in the idea that the cost of living here is much more than it is in India. So you're compensated for that as well.
Quite a good amount. It's being planned to be increased to 25,000 per month, which is quite a handsome pay considering that this whole year is just you learning the basics of being a doctor. However, in private colleges, you can expect anywhere from 15,000 a month to 0 rupees a month. Now what?
I'm surprised that private colleges are paying less than the government institutions. In the UK, it's the other way around. If anything that's run by the government, you're getting paid less. Anything that is in the private sector, you're getting paid a lot more. I get what he's saying in that this is basically a training year for them. So you get paid very little to none. You're there to learn the trade. In the UK, it's slightly different to that. When you qualify as a doctor, you are a fully qualified doctor, and although you are still training, you are paid an equivalent wage to the next year and the year afterwards.
You have to note is that it also varies by state. The figures that I gave you is for medical colleges in my state of Karnataka. Some states
Karnataka.
Pay much lesser. Some states like Delhi may pay a bit more. Now, special categories like students
So similarly, in London, in our capital, you get paid more for working as a doctor.
from army medical colleges like AFMC get paid way more because they would have been inducted into the army with the rank of a lieutenant, I think. And they get the rank pay of a lieutenant, which is around 70,000 rupees. Places that have that one extra year of rural service, part of the 2-year internship, may pay more in the second year, around 25 to 30,000 per month.
If you work in the army, you get paid more. In the UK, if you work as part of the army, you do that alongside your normal medical training and you'll get paid a similar wage to that of a normal doctor, but you'll get specific days off to do your army work.
Now, once you graduate, once you have that medical degree and a permanent license to practice, the opportunities become kind of limitless. You'll never be out of a job unless you choose to. And you can also choose where to work and what kind of work you want to do. Do you want to work in a big city like Bangalore, or do you want to chill in a place like Goa or Lakshadweep? Do you just want to work in a hospital? Do you want to join government service? Do you want to join the army? Do you want to join a medical startup? Do you want to have your own startup? Do you want to have your own medical establishment? The opportunities are endless. So your pay will vary depending on what kind of sector you get into. So let's see what all different kinds of sectors and jobs pay. If you join as a duty doctor or a medical officer in a private hospital, this is the most common route that MBBS graduate takes because it's easier to get in. Your pay will depend on your experience and your skills and the work hours you're ready to put in. On an average, it ranges from 25,000 to 60,000 per month, but it can go upwards of 1 lakh per month depending on whether the doctor has learned extra skills.
So he's talking about finishing your residency and going straight to work in the private sector. In the UK, that's not really done at all. So there is an opportunity to work privately as a new doctor in the UK, but I don't really know anyone that's done it. It's a very rare thing to see someone do. But most of the private work is run by consultants who have been working for a number of years in the NHS who already have that experience.
MBBS doctors can learn extra skills like doing echocardiograms, basic ultrasounds, etc. and this will increase pay. The pay is more in metro areas and big cities, and when you come to a small town, the pay becomes 10 to 15k lesser for a comparable job. So my salary working as a doctor in a private hospital in Bangalore, working 6 days a week, 8-hour shifts, was around 55,000 per month.
So he's getting 55,000 rupees, so £550 per month, working 6 days at 8 hours, which is... Alexa, what's 8 times 6?
8 times 6 is 48.
48. I didn't need Alexa for that. Once again, that is quite a lot less than you get in the UK, and that money in India goes a really long way. Dr. A is also talking about the fact that you can do extra things to boost your pay, like doing these extra skills. So that's not really something you get in the UK.
Doctors also do telemedicine, which is basically giving basic prescriptions and counseling over the phone. And if you can spend like 3 to 4 hours a day, you can make close to 1,000 rupees per day. So you can do the math. If you join government service, it can vary by whether it's a state government job or it's a central government job, whether you're on contract, whether you're a permanent employee, a lot of things. If you're on contract in a state government job, the base pay will be less. It will be around 35 to 45k, but you will get bonuses for, working in rural areas and meeting some objectives set by the government. If you're employed with the state government as a full-time medical officer, you can expect a starting basic pay of 50 to 60,000. This was for the state-run government hospital.
So it's quite a lot more complicated than we have in the UK, the way that the government is split up. Here we have the NHS, and if it's not the NHS, then it is private practice. That's it.
Central government hospitals pay much more. I came across a central government job offer for about 75,000 for 1 year contract. And a friend of mine worked for ESI hospitals for around 85,000 a month, which is pretty good pay. Now, if you join the army as a medical doctor, you will have the rank of a captain and you'll get the rank pay of a captain, which is around 80 to 90,000 in hand, plus bonuses and other stuff.
I know they're really big on that army in India. There's a big push for it. There's lots of posters about joining the army. So you can see why they're subsidizing joining the army more. In the UK, if you work as an army doctor, you wouldn't make that much more than you would as a regular doctor, but it is still, quite a cool thing to be able to do.
Then comes the exciting option of joining medical startups. These companies look for doctors to write medical articles, cross-check medical data. Edutech companies will want you to teach or frame questions or check questions and things like that. And the pay tends to be around 40 to 65K. So my first proper job after graduating medical school was in one such startup, and my pay was around 55,000.
So he went from medical school to working in a startup. That's not really done at all in the UK. There's quite a strict process that you go through. You do medical school, you do foundation training, you do core training to become a consultant or a GP. So it's quite cool that there are these extra opportunities that you get working as a doctor in India.
Now, corporate companies, MNCs and factories hire medical officers, doctors to treat their employees with minor conditions like headaches or fevers to major emergencies like heart attacks or bleeding. So I had a job offer for about 60,000 per month from an MNC for a 1-year contract. You could also work for insurance companies. They need doctors to check medical data, to cross-check patient reports. They pay a similar amount, around 40 to 60K, but I personally find this to be boring, so I didn't do much research into it.
So the pay sounds pretty similar as well. You're looking at around 50,000 rupees, so around £500 per month working in these fields. Similar sort of pay to working in the government hospitals or in the private hospitals from the sounds of it.
So the next interesting field is in academia or a teaching setting. If you like teaching medicine or just biology as a whole, you can work as a tutor or a lecturer in one of the medical colleges or in some degree colleges where you can teach biology subjects like physiology. And in these jobs, you can expect a starting salary of around 30,000, but the work will be quite relaxed. So if you want to do something like that, that's also an option.
There is also an opportunity in the UK to work as a lecturer at the medical school, so quite similar to what he's describing.
MBBS doctors have license to practice all forms of medicine, and they can even perform surgeries like vasectomies, tubectomies, emergency cesarean sections, emergency appendectomies, etc. as long as they have trained in those fields under a consultant in a large teaching hospital for at least 6 months, and they have to show proof of that experience.
So that's not the case in the UK. In the UK, to be able to perform those procedures, you have to usually have specialised in something in particular. So to perform a cesarean section, you need to have trained in obstetrics and gynecology or be in that role, and then you can do that. Whereas here, anyone with an MBBS degree that's worked in 6 months, that said that they're competent, is able to do it.
As you can see, how much money you make in your own private practice depends on how much time you're willing to spend. Second, how many procedures you can do safely and legally. And third, how big your setup is. With private practice, you can make anywhere from 40,000 a month to 5 lakhs a month. Like I said, it all depends on you. Now,
that's huge. The difference between 40,000 and 5 lakhs is absolutely massive.
Not all fresh medical graduates will have access to the relatively higher paying jobs that I had. I was in quite a favorable position because first, I live in Bangalore, and second, I graduated from the best government run medical school in my state. I had access to all these good options, but since I took too many breaks in between to study for a lot of different kinds of exams, I haven't made much money in total, but that's okay. These exams are going to get me my residency of choice, hopefully, fingers crossed, and probably a good lifestyle later on. So I'm not complaining. I'm kind of broke now, but that's okay. Well, that's it from me.
He's definitely a high flyer, Dr. A.
For today, if you like this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe and click on that bell icon so you get a notification in your phone or in your computer every time I upload a video.
Right, that is it. I found that video really interesting. It's kind of what I imagined it to be. He hasn't talked much about tax, but I know that the tax there is more complicated and is definitely less than the tax we have in the UK. Doctors in the UK are being paid about 10 to 15 times more than this, but you also have to remember that the cost of living is so much more, and that the scope of private practice here and the amount you get paid for private practice in the UK is pretty crazy. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments. As always, if you're new to the team, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Take care, guys, and stay safe.